92.7. Go with the flow. Feel your day with us.
It's the 12th today in the 12th month, the last for the year 2025. Good morning to you. It's Friday. It's 8 o'clock from FlowFM 92.7. Thank you so very much for choosing and listening to FlowFM via terrestrial radio 92.7 megahertz. And if you're joining us via the World Wide Web, we say hello, good morning to you. Thank you so very much. This is the headline news analysis on FlowFM 92.7 every single morning from 8 to 8:30, exclusive to FlowFM 92.7, where we discuss, debate, and talk about the big stories that made headlines. So we highlight some of the stories that we brought to you at 7 o'clock, and we provide analysis from the studio. And then the most beautiful part of the headline news analysis is you get a chance to join in the conversation as well by calling 0807 777 9927, 0807 777 9927. It's a lovely Friday morning. It's a cold one at that. My name is Adeyemi.
I'm Danielle Shitta-Bey. Thank you for joining us on Headline News Analysis this morning. Good morning to you, Nicholas.
Good morning, and a wonderful morning to remind the University of Ilorin administration that they are not doing anything about the transport system. And I sincerely hope Professor Igbowole, the Vice Chancellor, is listening to this. And honestly, this is one other thing I need to say about that. If they have a dean of student affairs in that university, they do. And I learned he's a professor. I don't know. I mean, I know he's a father. And honestly, I'm so disappointed that he can sleep with his two eyes closed with people's kids going through the kind of hassles they go through. I think it was even a mistake asking them to go and learn from Kwasu. I think what they should really do is to go to the nearest garage park or this NURTW, to go and learn how transport system is managed. Because what is happening there is horrific. What is happening in the University of Ilorin transport system is horrific. And I sincerely hope they are listening and they are angry enough to do something about it, because I'm just getting started. Good morning.
All right. Good morning to you, Nicholas.
Start to it. A great start to you. Thank you. We do hope that they are paying attention to our concerns and they do something about it soon enough.
They better do.
All right. The views to be expressed is not in any way the position of FlowFM 92.7 and the staff therein, but is expressed by our in-house analyst, Nicholas Uwerunonye, and all the individuals who will call on the show this morning. You can call us on 0807 777 9927. Again, 0807 777 9927 to make your comments on the analysis this morning. Whether it's the one we brought to you at 7 or anyone you see in the national dailies you'd like to talk about, you can definitely bring it up on the analysis and we get to talk about it. But remember that we have a few rules on the program. We do not give in to any logical fallacies, and every news story that you bring must be from a verifiable source. Also note that you have 60 seconds, 1 minute to make your comment, so as to allow other people make their comments as well. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook, so if you want to see what the studio looks like and what the action is like in the studio, you can definitely get on any of these apps and get in on live action happening in the studio. Let's get right into the conversation. The Fushengbuwa ruling house of Ijebu-Ode has dismissed the lineage claim submitted by Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, that's Kwam 1, declaring his application for the ongoing Awujale section exercise null and void and of no consequence. In a letter dated December 11, 2025, the ruling house stated that its investigation found no evidence linking the musician to the Jadiara royal house of the wider Fushengbuwa lineage. As reported, it also faulted the certification of his form by Adedayo Abayomi Oduneye, who said it is not recognized as a member of the royal family, also noting inconsistencies such as the document being certified 2 days before it was signed by Ayinde.
You see, there is a reason why the Awujale, the late Awujale, became a respected figure, and it's because of this kind of institutionalization of the process of installing a traditional ruler in that home state. So apparently, Kwam 1 thought he could get crash. Like he tried to do at the airport, that resulted in that huge controversies. And at the end of the day, he was given an ambassadorial appointment, be an ambassador of whatever, And again, you see, let me give a very, very strong, a loud applause, to that royal family house because they saw through what Kwamwan was trying to do. I know deep within him, he knows he can't get that title. He know he can never be the king, like he aspired to be. All he wanted to do with that aspiration was to cement his lineage. For me, I think he was trying to get that royal blood by the back door, not necessarily by any link whatsoever. So with that disclaimer, he can never lay claim to being a prince or anything. That disclaimer thoroughly puts an end to that dream. And again, it reinforces what we have been saying, that you see, the traditional ruling system is a very, very important institution, and you have to watch how people just come in and make claims. Now, I'm saying this because of historical precedents. If you recall, there is a case right now, this huge disgrace that the country suffered on account of the current ruler of Ikpetumodu, who was indicted in the United States of America, over fraud-related, and I think he's going to serve a 4-year jail term or thereabout. Now, if I recall, if you go back into history, you see that when, his candidature was up, there was a claim, a very, very strong claim that this man does not belong to that, the ruling house. In fact, there was a court case that was instructed by a prince, of Ikpetumodu, on his candidature, But at the end of the day, look at what happened, Then of course, within that same Osun state, you have the case of one traditional ruler going up and down and saying all manners of things, denigrating, the stool, denigrating even the culture itself. So this is, a great kudos to the family, for putting Kwamwan in his place. Let's continue with his Fuji music,
All right, let's take a call. Let's see. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning to you. What is your name and where are you calling from, please?
All right. Please try and connect back if you can. 0807 777 9927. Well, the issue with, Kwamwan declared his intention to be the next Awujale. Do you think this will, totally put a rest to it from him after that some disclaimer coming from the royal house? Or you think that he will want to push further to prove his lineage?
Well, I won't put it past him, because he feels so entitled. You can remember the kind of things he was doing after that, that silly stunt that he put up at the airport. Then the next thing it was to start showing a video of him talking to the president. You understand? So, you see, I think it's high time people who are close to the president understand they are doing more damage to President Tinubu than they are really helping him. Just a few days ago, you heard what Wole Soyinka said about Sheikh.
Exactly.
About his
security,
convoy,
yes.
And security. And I mean, the other day it was the daughter that went to install a market leader in Edo State, a highly hallowed institution in Edo tradition. So to what extent are we going to continue, looking at, seeing people that are close to the president denigrating the man? The man, in fact, you see, why I'm not blaming the president is because he has been on record once, when there was this, disagreement between this same Chief Tinubu and his chief of staff, where he openly stated that as far as this presidency is concerned, the person who managed this place is his chief of staff, which is Bajabi Amila. So I don't know. You see, a lot of things need to be said here, because I know I have come down hard on the president that, look, yes, we know he's a very sound politician. We know he's a very good leader. But as a family head, there are lots of question marks there.
Let's take another call. Hello, good morning.
What's wrong with the phone line this morning? Please, let's push traffic to WhatsApp as well, too. You can please pull those thoughts into writing and then send them to the same number via WhatsApp, 0807 777 9927. This is the headline news analysis. Let's move on the show.
All right, let's touch on another story real quick and move to politics, where we took the story yesterday where River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, defected from PDP to APC, and PDP has come out to say that they've criticized his actions, saying that his defection to the All Progressives Congress and describing it as a captive falling in love with the captor. Well, it was the publicity secretary, Ini Mobong, that made the remark during an interview, insisting that Fubara's move was misguided, despite his claims that the PDP failed to protect him during the recent political crisis that happened in Rivers State.
Yeah, that's an apt call by PDP. And the proper word to use for that kind of a scenario is Stockholm Syndrome. You know, a situation where, a victim falls in love with his captor. That is what the PDP is saying there. And therefore, all he's saying and his action shows that he's probably suffering from that too. You know, we are talking of a person that shoved you aside illegally, as far as I'm concerned. You know, and there has been a lot of argument about it. The court is still out there on that matter. It hasn't been adjudicated on. You know, you're moving into the same party that shoved you aside, you know, and, you know, professing that kind of a love for the man who did that kind of a thing. It says a lot about your state of mind.
But for someone seeking a second term, I know you say that Governor Simdalai has no spine politically. For someone who is seeking a second term, do you not think this as the best move that he could have made?
Unfortunately, I'm not a politician. I'm just an analyst. You know, I speak purely on what I see. Yes, maybe personally, yes, I might say, okay, something is better part of valor. You know, self-preservation is better part of valor. Yeah, but there is no issue of self-preservation here. You always have an option of throwing in the towel and walking away with your dignity. You understand? You see, I will always insist on this. I like men of integrity. You know, men who keep their integrity at all costs. You know, so you see, that is why, you know, regardless of how I might disagree with some of the policy statements, policies of the current president, but there is a doggedness to him that I understand. There is a spunk to him that I understand, you know, that I connect with, you know, at some level. You know, so that is why most times, you know, it's always dialectical in looking at any issues that comes around him. So he did, the president, yeah, even if we say, okay, yes, whatever he did in shoving him aside might be a little bit, might appear improper. But then we have to concede to him that he's a politician. I have to concede that to him. He saw a leeway. He saw something that he could explore, and he explored it. You understand? I could concede that to him. But you see, for someone who was trampled on to fall in love with the person who that is trampling on you, I mean, there is this thing that he does to my person. You know, it's not like me. You understand? So that is it. And, you know, when we talk of analysis, we talk of what is, what is the proper thing? What is the standard? We shouldn't go below the standard. You know, if we say we are practicing democracy, how is it done elsewhere? Where it's succeeding? So those are the things we should insist on. You know, where democracies are properly done, you don't junket from one party to the other. Like, what do you call them? And the people who change church, you know, so you don't do things like that. It doesn't show that you have spawn. It doesn't show you have integrity. It doesn't show you have principle. You know, and the bedrock is, you keep on saying this, the bedrock of politicking is principle. It should be based on certain principle. So there is absolutely nothing that I can define as a matter of principle with Fubara.
All right. Nicholas, in all of this, I just want to ask you, who has won? Does it appear that the Honorable Minister has won in this whole situation?
I think he's a loser.
The Honorable Minister?
Oh, yes, I think he's a loser.
Because he got him out of the PDP, and he's still with the PDP.
When Fubara was saying that PDP abandoned him, who was he pledging his loyalty to? Was it to Wike? No, he was pledging his loyalty to the president. It's as simple as that. So, you see, it's like all of them are scrambling and holding the feet of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Tinubu has won. You understand? So, for me, a man like, Wike, always think that he's the top dog. But apparently he's not the top dog now. When was the last time you hear him talk? You understand? So if he hasn't seen the handwriting on the wall, then I really pity him. Because this is the beginning of the end for him, if he's not careful. Yeah, politically speaking.
But he at one point, when I think that was 2015 thereabout, he remained with the PDP.
Yeah.
And then he kept the position going. Now again, we've seen series of defection from the PDP, and it's still a big part of the PDP, a faction, maintaining a faction of the PDP.
Look at what you just said now. At some point, there was a whole PDP where he appears to have a sway. Now he's controlling a faction. Is that progress?
But the party has disintegrated into factions.
Of course, he disintegrated the party and is holding on to a fraction of that disintegration. That is what he's having. He's not having a whole anymore. You understand? Regardless of whatever you think, regardless of what you say of Atiku, whatever, all this fact, they are holding large chunks of that party, loyalties of that party to themselves. Forget the fact that Atiku is in the ADC. He still commands loyalty within that place. You understand? What Wike is holding on to is a few people that is able to lubricate their loyalty with money. That's all. That's all he has. But in terms of loyalty as in leadership, see him as a leader. I know it takes more than that. Political leadership, see, look, if you grew up in a place like Kwara and you sing something like Saraki, the old Saraki, late Saraki, you know what leadership is all about. Can you say that Wike commands that kind of loyalty outside the money? The answer is no. Capital, no. No.
Now, still on Rivers, before we move ahead, the governor, Simlala Ifubara, did say that he held so much inside that he feels so pained that he cannot express himself, that he'll hold on. Do you think truly and truly the governor has not expressed and not said truly what happened?
I think he hasn't. Apart from, you see...
So you think he's concealing a lot?
He's concealing a lot of pain that he himself caused for himself. A lot of self-inflicted pain. That is what I think he's concealing. So if you think he's going to get my sympathy, then I think he's wrong. And if you think he's going to get a lot of sympathy...
He's not been able to meet with the state assembly, and of course the speaker came out and debunked that and said that was a careless statement from the governor.
Oh yeah, that should tell you that there are still rancors. You see, both of them are scrambling for attention from the center.
You mean the
speaker, the House of Assembly, the South House of Assembly, and the governor on the other side. So it's like two people, twerking for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they are trying to see who will twerk better.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is Shitta-Bey, calling from Sango.
Okay. Please go ahead, please.
What on issue of Ijebu, I really commend the Omoba and Ijebu land. Fine. And then Kwewa may be one way or the other close to president. But that is not the reason why he made that move. He made that move because all the Yoruba and Yoruba land, they have gone to something else. In recent time, you see that all the Yoruba they are installing Yoruba land, they always bring them from US or somewhere else, which shows it's all about money. Even when a place very close to us, here, you see the bona fides, Omoba, the long wing, and they bring somebody from somewhere because of money. That is to today, on top of that, community. So I really, really appreciate the Omoba of Egypt because people believe that when you have money and you are influential in Nigeria, you can claim anything, especially when it comes to issue of this Oba thing. Then secondly, on the issue of Fubara, you see, I said this one earlier when the matter was, ongoing. That you see, no godfather will bring a real person in Nigeria to succeed him. You see, if you look at the game of chess, you see knight, you see bishop, and so on. But in case of the...
Oh, all right, sir. Please try and cut it back. Let me ask you this, based on what he was saying. Now, with this defection of the River State governor, the PDP appears, I think they have about how many governors left? I think two.
Yeah, they're about
two of them.
Three.
2 or 3.
Makinde.
Okay, Makinde. Yes, Governor Makinde. 3 of them left. And some people are saying that the politics of the president is dangerous. How is that dangerous to our democracy?
Yeah, he's talking in terms of, that a one-party system is very bad. But you see, in as much as I agree, but you see, we need to get certain things clear.
Right.
I think he was talking in real terms of if you really have a political party. The fact is we don't have a political party in Nigeria. What we have are special purpose vehicles, SPV. That is all we have. Just a vehicle to get in power. So these are not political parties. You understand? So you might think that PDP, you see, and that's the thing about PDP, that's the thing about party politics in Nigeria. At some point, you think it's dying. Yeah. Then the next thing, It's like phoenix rising from its ashes. You understand? Yeah, you might believe that, yes, but when election comes, you see them reassert themselves, because I think that 16 years of being in power should leave some enduring memories in some people. You understand? So the moment the opportunity is right, they shake off whatever inertia, and reassert themselves.
All right, another call. All right, looks like we'll go
And then what is so attractive about the APC? Do you think
It's power.
Hold on, Nicholas. Is it the charisma of the president, or as it's been said that they are being coerced to join the APC?
Okay, let me tell you.
Before you respond to
Okay.
that, let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you,
Michael.
Michael, yeah.
Okay, this is Michael from Ilorin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on what you are saying on issue around opposition, one party, and issue around defection, I think, in all honesty, PDP failed Fubara. Let's disrespect ourselves. I know that the president tried to box, but where was his party when all these things were going on? PDP, they were just backing, but they couldn't do anything, not even a single protest, either in Abuja or so. The only thing that we heard was PDP governors going to Supreme Court. And that was all. So to me, they didn't do enough to protect him. Having said that, I think there is no opposition in Nigeria. I hate when I hear Nigeria is becoming one-party state. Do we really have opposition? Or we have a bunch of selfish opposition leaders? Let's be factual to ourselves. Atiku wants to be president by all means. Wants to be president by all means. All of them want to be president by all means. And how can that work if you don't come together and sacrifice and have a united house? So long that continues, we'll continue to be in this kind of trajectory that we are. I think opposition, they need to really wake up. What happens to when even this man moves to a court party? Why did ADC woo Governor Adeleke? That's to tell you that selfishness. Sadly, what's it called? Aregbesola couldn't strike the kind of deal that he wanted with the governor. So I think the opposition just needs to wake up and stop deceiving Nigeria with this one-party state. Thank you.
All right, truly, Michael has a point there. Why didn't he move to the ADC?
2 points, actually. He did say that PDP didn't do enough. And I want to agree with him, because I recall that at the onset of APC, when they started there, and Amechi was facing a lot of barrages from federal might. There was a time APC took a decision and passed it to their members at the state assembly, at the National Assembly, that they should block all motions from the executive, block all bills, until the commissioner of police, Mbu, was removed from the River State, because he was
the River State Commissioner.
The River State Commissioner of Police. You understand? And they did it, and they succeeded. You understand? So, you see, like I said, probably it has to do with the way PDP was formed. PDP was not formed from the opposition background. It was formed, it was created so specifically to have power handed over to it. It has a different, trajectory with APC, AD, and the rest of them, which transmogrified into APC. You understand? So, you see, they have no background in opposition. That is why they've been tottering. Yeah, that I think is what the problem is for them.
All right, let's take a couple comments from WhatsApp and also from Facebook. Dr. Mrs. Umar Libara from where he says, greed and avarice are not the root causes of these defections. Without opposition, democracy is meaningless. We're in serious trouble in this country, a situation where a ruling party tries to silence and destroy opposition, pushing the nation to a one-party state. It becomes dictatorship and no longer democracy. Shall we just be watching these people destroy our hard-earned democracy? These people don't even understand the implications of what they're pushing us into. Danger is looming. And this comment was from the conversation of stripping VIP of police from yesterday, just making a comment from yesterday. It was like, the recent withdrawal of our security personnel from VIPs is a welcome development. It sends a strong and clear signal to policymakers to sit up and provide lasting solutions to nation's security challenges. Beyond that, this decision will open up greater employment opportunities for our retired security operatives who can now establish and manage private security outfits. Through these platforms, thousands can be trained, empowered, and gainfully engaged to provide professional services to VIPs and other high-profile individuals. Thank you. Uwerunonye Tunde from Tanker. Good morning, House. Please, Mr. Moderator. Okay. Don't let your hatred for Wike affect your analysis. What and where was Fubara before Wike made him a governor? Would you accept if your apprentice goes against you? Take it or leave it. Wike still holds a larger part in River State. I'm expecting Wike to address the issue of Fubara decamping soon. Ife from Ogwamosho.
All right, thank you, Ife.
Thank you, Ife. I don't hate Wike. But you see, the thing is that, look, it's not about apprentice or anything. It's about constitutionalism. That is what it's all about. These are issues that are plain. You understand? So at some point, I was in support of Wike when he was a governor because he was in the opposition. You understand? It's just that I don't like his show where you have underdog. You know, that is, I mean, I always side with the underdog because the person that has the power has everything going for him. So you have to create a kind of balance. If not, we are all in the opposition, you know.
All right. 0807-777-9927. Let's touch on this before we wrap up on the analysis for the whole week. The Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs on Thursday approved the nomination of former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode for appointment as ambassador. Others cleared include former Minister of Interior Abdulrahman Dambazel, ex-presidential aide Reno Mokri, Senator Ita Enang, Senator Grace Bent, former INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, former Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, and former Abia State Governor Victor Okezie.
And also, I'm the former First Lady of Oyo State, Mrs. Adeyemi was also, screened as well. So, but there was a mild drama in the Senate between Senator Alin Dume and Edo State, Senator Adams Oshomele as to Reno Mokri taking the bow.
Well, you see, the thing is this. You see, that mild drama on Reno Mokri, if you're going to ask me, it's just the beginning of a lot of drama they are going to see when he eventually takes office. You see, it's not because I have anything personal against Omokri. But you see, another person that is similar to him is FFK. But you see, while FFK... Excuse me a minute. Excuse me. Sorry. While FFK might be a bit different, is that, he has been tested in office. He has been a minister. He has been an aviation minister. He has held sensitive position, and there hasn't been any issue of breach of security or anything. But Reno Mokri is a different ball game entirely. He has been seen globally denigrating a certain president. His use of incendiary languages to create ethnic tension is right there. Now, you see, whatever they are going to send him to, the ethnic group that has been the butt of his latest, antics are going to be there because they are the most traveled and most itinerant, tribe in Nigeria. They are going to be there. How are they going to receive him? See, these are some of the things that I think could be responsible for what happened, the drama that played out.
All right. Our time is fast spent.
But let's have your closing thoughts and your highlights for the week.
My highlight for the week is number one, the University of Ilorin situation. And of course, they have the security situation. We didn't talk about it, but it's still there as a front burner,
Okay, and the closing statements as well.
Yeah, well, this is a weekend, and we are approaching a lot of festivities. People should be very careful and understand that it's about humanity and safety first.
Yeah, good.
Great.
You. All right, thank you very much. The views expressed is not in any way the position of FlowFM 92.7 or the staff therein, but is expressed by our in-house analyst Nicholas Uwerunonye and the individuals who called and messaged on the analysis this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back to your ears, God willing, next week on Monday from 8 o'clock to 8:30 as per usual. Thank you again for joining us. I'm Danielle Shitta-Bey.
And I am Adedayo Adeyemi. Have a great start of the weekend.
From Adeyemi to so be moved. FlowFM in the mix tonight.
FlowFM in the mix tonight.
FlowFM 92 with the rule tonight.
FlowFM with the rule tonight.
FlowFM 92 with the rule tonight.
Flow it down,
Flow it down. Ilorin no they stop. No stop. We're going like it's up and up.
FlowFM with body non-stop.
No stop.
Girl, you find past sunset for quite a sky. FlowFM they play.